Icons are defined as a person or thing worthy of veneration. Now, more than an icon, the work of Dr. John Schuh can be best defined as iconoclast, destroying the conventional norms of the student affairs practice and creating new pathways. With hundreds of publications to his credit, including books, journal articles, and essays, some even written in the 1990s, his work remains relevant even today. Though he's retired, I had a chance to sit down with Dr. Schuh via Zoom for a candid one-on-one conversation.
I've always been interested in higher education. Now, this started when I was a child. And in the house I grew up, uh, everybody was a big sports fan. This was in a suburb of Milwaukee. And so on Saturday afternoons in the fall, we would watch the Big Ten football game of the week. There would only be one. And I just got interested in colleges and universities through watching these football games and seeing the fans and the bands and, a little bit about the campuses and so on. And then I went to college and I was kind of interested in how student affairs worked. And then I became a resident assistant when I was a sophomore in college. So that was something that I did. And in addition to that, I had been involved a little bit in student government and intramurals and so on as a first year student. And then as a junior, I became an assistant residence hall director. And at that point, I decided I really think I want to make a career out of higher education, but the focus would always be on students.
Before going into higher education, he spent 20 years in the U.S. Marine Corps, retiring as a major. His undergraduate degree was from the University of Wisconsin at Oshkosh, and he has a Master of Counseling and doctorate degrees from Arizona State University.
Went to Tempe and worked on a master's degree, and it was at that point it was introduced to me that I could actually study higher education. I didn't even know higher education was a discipline. Student affairs and counseling, yes, but higher education, no. And so I stayed on at ASU and took my Ph.D. There, and also worked first year of graduate school as a residence hall director. I've always been interested in the student experience. I mean, going back to, I guess, as an undergraduate.
His books and writings are myriad, but the ones that are most widely known are Assessment Methods for Student Affairs, One Size Does Not Fit All, Traditional and Innovative Models of Student Affairs Practice, and Student Success in College. He was also the editor of the New Directions for Student Services sourcebook and the associate editor of the Journal of College Student Development.
Yeah.
He's done hundreds, as we say, from my research, 28 books, hundreds of publications, other articles, monographs, book chapters. I can go on and on. Is there a definitive work? I know it's kind of like saying which one of your kids is your favorite, so it's hard to categorize it. But is there a definitive work that stands out to say, I'm really proud of this particular thing I've done as it relates to the scholarly writing that is a pathway that you see? This is really the standard that I use or that could be used for student affairs.
I think there were two projects in which I was involved that I think have made a difference and were wonderful experiences for me. One was the project that led to the book involving colleges, which was published, around 1990 or so. Subsequently, 10 years or so later, I was involved in the project that was called the Student Success Project, but it had to do with, again, factors and conditions that led to high quality student experiences, but it was beyond student affairs. I mean, it had to do with student faculty relationships and all kinds of experiences that students could have beyond the kind of traditional residence hall, student government, student activities, and so on, experiences that students had that were highlighted in our first book, and that was a big group of people involved in that project.
Dr. Schuh leads by example, serving on many boards and student-centered organizations. He has received awards and commendations from educational institutions and organizations worldwide. However, one award that is most proud for him is the Distinguished Alumni Award from the University of Wisconsin at Oshkosh.
If an organization or group of people would like to recognize me or my work or whatever it might be, and it's important to them to recognize me in that way, the award is very meaningful for me.
Another major accomplishment in an already stellar career is his Fulbright Award and appointment to the Fulbright program as a peer reviewer. His work has taken him to countries near and far, and that's why he's finally enjoying a well-deserved retirement as a distinguished professor emeritus from Iowa State University. Dr. Schuh's work remains foundational, which is why he is an intellectual icon of student affairs. I'm Rahman Johnson for the Jackson State University Ph.D. program.